Seriously, can we stop wearing the black and white Winter Classic jerseys? I know they look great. That's not the problem. The problem is they're cursed. Nothing good happens in them. Get them out of here. Now, I don't want to alarm anyone. Is your DeBrincat making too much noise all the time?
I haven't really prepared for this.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Hawks Recap. My name is Clay. Thank you for tuning in. The Blackhawks have just completed their 49th game of this shortened 56-game season. Final game of the season against the Tampa Bay Lightning. And for the 7th time out of 8 games this season, the Blackhawks lose to the Lightning. Final score tonight, a whopping 7 to a, not that bad, but not enough, 4. Where do we start with this game? I guess first and foremost, you're going to have a really tough time winning when you give up 7 goals. Hawks were just not sharp tonight. They did not have their A game, and you cannot be dull when you go up against the defending Stanley Cup champions, who, by the way, they're not like playing and resting starters. Like, they have things to play for, even though they have now officially after this game clinched the playoff spot. They're still gunning for the first seed in the Central Division. So yeah, they're not resting starters. They're going at it. And yeah, you're going to play a team that good, who they're that good and they don't even have Stamkos and Kucherov. Like, you got to bring it. And the Hawks did not tonight. Kevin Lankinen got the start in net tonight, and he certainly looked rusty early. Now, the Blackhawks came into this game coming off of 3 days of rest, and Lankinen didn't start the game prior to those 3 days off. So, long time in between starts for Lankinen, although you can't really say that's an excuse because Malcolm Subban has dealt with that quite a bit this season. His starts have come when he's had like 2+ weeks off. Lankinen's got to find a way to put out a good performance. He certainly didn't have it tonight. Now, in fairness to Lankinen, though, Subban's, I guess, he has more experience having a lot of time in between starts, where Lankinen's had, the lion's share this year and has played quite a bit, so he's not quite used to having a lot of time between starts. But still, like I said, he's got to find a way to get his game there on game day. 3 goals he gave up in the first period. 2 of them, I would say, were pretty soft, including one in the first 30 seconds of this game. He would end up getting replaced by Malcolm Subban to start the second period. A little bit surprised by that move, but quite frankly, I don't think it really mattered in the scope of this game. Malcolm Subban ended up giving up 3 goals in the second period and then an additional one in the third. The goalie didn't matter. I was actually kind of surprised that they didn't somehow find a way to bring in Delia for the third period in this game. But ultimately, goaltenders weren't good enough for the Hawks tonight. Defense wasn't good enough for the Hawks tonight. Offense, they scored 4 goals, but they were 1 for 7 on the power play. You got to do better there. It just, all around, it just wasn't good enough for the Hawks tonight, especially when you're going up against the reigning Stanley Cup champs. And speaking of the Stanley Cup champs, they're without Nikita Kucherov and Steven Stamkos, and yet they still can beat this Blackhawks team with just their skill alone. It's straight up unfair. But tonight, they decided to throw their body around, which isn't, illegal. But they got to points where they were kind of crossing that line and kind of gooning it up a little bit. Braden Shen with just a ridiculously late and bad hit on Dominic Kubalik. Caught him way up high, way after the puck was gone. Shen, he should be suspended for that hit. He probably won't because Kubalik ended up coming back to this game. But my goodness, Lightning, you don't have to do that. You can win this game just with skill alone. And then to add injury to insults, Adam Boqvist gets hit hard and high and awkwardly. And I want to clarify, I'm not blaming Tampa Bay for this hit. It was a legal hit. It was fine. It was just awkward. And he gets injured and leaves the game, and we find out he broke his wrist, and he is done for the season. Are you serious right now? Can we not lose a defenseman for just one game? Just one game. The Blackhawks have been going with 7 defensemen lately because they just knew they were going to lose a defenseman due to injury. Tonight, they were like, we'll be fine. No worries. Let's go 6 defensemen, 12 forwards, standard lineup. Nope, Adam Boqvist leaves. and we're down to 5 defensemen. And then Connor Murphy ends up fighting Chernak, and so we're down to 4 defensemen for like 17 minutes of this game. Just, my goodness. Kirby Dach missed the beginning of the season with a wrist injury. Adam Boqvist will miss the end of the season with a wrist injury. It's just symmetry. Yeah, so I don't really feel like talking about this game a whole lot more. I will point out this, though. It's just super typical that the Blackhawks lost tonight while the Predators and Stars also lost tonight. Now, I already called that the Blackhawks playoff chances were done, even though technically they're still, they still have a chance. But it's been such a theme this year that when the Hawks have an opportunity to gain ground on teams above them, they don't. And it happened again tonight. Once again, like I said, they're not making the playoffs regardless, but it's just so typical. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching this episode of Hawks Recap. I hope you got something out of it. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate that as always. We got 7 games left in this season. I know it's kind of disappointing right now, but we're not going to have Blackhawks hockey for a while after these 7 games, so just take it in as you can. Until next time, stay safe, make good decisions, and I'll see you then.